The princess arrived in San Francisco today, now presumed he fell overboard. This is ABC News.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, WGBW.FM. For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Gas prices continue to fall throughout Wisconsin and in the nation. Melissa Kay reports.
Gas prices fell 8.3 cents over the last week. The average in Wisconsin today is $2.77 per gallon. This is 8.5 cents lower than a month ago and over 15 cents per gallon lower than this time last year. Areas around the Great Lakes may have seen prices go up just before traveling commenced around the Thanksgiving holiday. However, most of the nation saw prices holding stable or decline slightly, with the national average near the lowest level seen since 2021. Officials at Gas Buddy say the weeks ahead should feature slight drops in most areas. You should see gas for $2.99 or less through the holiday shopping season. Potential impacts from tariffs are something to watch for, though they would have no effect until late January if implemented at all.
In Green Bay, gas prices dropped 13 cents over the past week to $2.73 a gallon. The leader of Wisconsin's Democratic Party announced his bid to head up the party's national strategy. Ben Wickler joins an increasingly crowded field to head up the national party and says his goal is to unite the party and fight to win. In response to several complaints from businesses in downtown Oshkosh, the Common Council voted last week to temporarily ban alcohol consumption in Opera House Square Park. Oshkosh Police Chief Dean Smith.
We have folks who are urinating on the sides of buildings, they're defecating, they're also fighting with each other. Their inhibitions start to get diminished because, well, if you've partaken of alcohol, you know that you become freer to do what you want to do. And
Smith added that the ordinance is simply a tool to foster conversation and is not an attempt to criminalize the homeless population that has been using Opera House Square. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
The Packers get ready for Detroit. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Packers face the Lions Thursday night at Ford Field. I asked quarterback Jordan Love, was it weird holding a Wednesday type of practice on a Sunday afternoon?
Definitely. It was definitely a weird week, and it was weird to wake up and know that there's other football games today. So it doesn't feel like Sunday, but like I said, we're treating it like a Wednesday.
NBA, the Bucks are now 10-9 after beating the Washington Wizards over the weekend. Up next, they host the Detroit Pistons tomorrow night at Fiserv Forum. The Bucks have won 6 in a row. College hoops, the Badgers with a 74-53 win over Chicago State. Tomorrow night, they'll face the Wolverines at the Kohl Center.
We know now we jump back into deep water Tuesday night with league play opening up, and got a really good Michigan team coming in here. So we'll use Sunday and Monday to prep for that, and get ready to, like I said, jump into Big Ten play.
That's Wisconsin's head coach Greg Gard. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
This is your local civic media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy, maybe a flurry tonight. Lows upper teens to 20. For tomorrow, mainly cloudy. A high around 30. Some flurries and snow showers possible Wednesday, high in the mid-30s and becoming windy. Colder Thursday before warming through the weekend. Right now it's 33.
The Dom Salvia Show.
Harvey Kaye, a professor emeritus of democracy at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. Harvey, I know you're the big FDR expert.
1934, he decided that the inequality and the wealth accumulated at the top was a threat not only to the American economy, but also to the American democratic spirit, American democratic life.
Sounds like history's repeating itself.
The Dom Salvia Show. Weekdays from 4 till 6 on the Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Todd Albaugh.
Hey, everybody, join us next time as Luke Mathers joins us for some Tuesday Tangents with Luke and also a What's Worse. Be here.
The Todd Albaugh Show. Weekdays noon till 2 Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a man barely 6 feet tall, but a mountain of muscle, Pete Schwaba.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Nite Lite. And I know most of you that know me right now are saying, he's not a mountain of muscle. He's like barely muscular.
I didn't have my microphone on, but I was almost in the middle of a drink, and it almost came out.
That is the voice of Todd Michaels, who is sitting in for the lovable producer, Conrad. Again, Todd was with me last Tuesday. He's with me tonight. Conrad will be back tomorrow night. Good to see you again, buddy.
Love being here.
It's great to have you. Did you have a good, I know you don't like holidays, and you're kind of a bah humbugger to some degree, but did you enjoy some time off?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
I slept in. Every day I slept in. And sleeping in for me is like 6, maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, but that is perfect. No alarm clock.
Yeah. Wow. So you can sleep past your time typically.
Well, I'll wake up, right? But then I'll be like, I'm going right back to bed.
Good for you.
I'm also one of those guys, like, after I had those days off, so this morning, is today Monday? Yeah. So this morning I had to get up at 3:30, and so like every 2 hours I was waking up just to check the clock because you're worried you're going to oversleep, right? That's my
horrible.
Issue. Yeah.
You know what? I try to sleep in every day till 10. That's what I tell myself, just so I'm fresh for the show at night, whatever. But I rarely do it. I'm usually up by 9, 8:30, whatever. But over the break, I said I'm sleeping in. But every day there was something going on at 8 o'clock. And we have a gas fireplace, and they showed up to fix it. They're like, we can fix it. And I wanted to fix before Thanksgiving because we're having people over.
Yeah.
And they said, we can be there at like 7:30. I'm like, 7:30? They're making their workers. So the guy comes over. I had to pick up you remember I left here. I went to pick up my daughter at college. We got home like 2 in the morning. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I want the thing fixed. And here's what he says. He didn't think he could fix it. Then he finds the part, and he says, it turns out, sir, we do have the part. I don't have to order it. We can fix it today. I'm going to go meet my boss at Quick Trip, and I'll come back and put it in. I tell my wife this, and she goes, how did he know he had the part? I'm like, what? Like, my wife just asks questions sometimes where I don't know where her brain goes. It's like, I'm like, great, they have the part. She's like, well, how did he know he had it? Like,
I don't know the process, honey.
I have no idea. And it would never occur to me to ask that question. Anyway, for whatever reason, every day I had to get up early. So today was my first day I could sort of sleep in, so I did. So I feel your pain, Todd, but you get up so much earlier than most people.
I hate it, too.
Yeah.
And every time I don't have to get up, I hate it even more when I get back to it, you know?
Yeah,
hate it.
What can I do? How can I help?
You got an agent that can maybe work this out with the
maybe you and
corporate...
Conrad could do like a swap every once in a while. Let you sleep in, let him get up early.
So tomorrow morning, our morning show, Mino and the Mayor, will be in Oshkosh. So Conrad has to come in tomorrow morning and be here while I'm in Oshkosh doing it from down there.
Nice. So you get to sleep in a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. 4 o'clock. 4:15.
The K-Man thrown back into the fire.
I don't think he was very happy about that. But I'm like, listen, this is what radio is. You get your butt out of bed, kid.
You can tell when Conrad's not happy. There's always a pause before he responds, which is probably smart. He could fly off a handle, or he could just take a beat. Say, okay, that sounds good.
I'd love to see him fly off the handle once.
It must have happened at some point in his life, but he seems very even-keeled, I will say. But yeah, it has to have happened at some point.
Almost to the point where you want to shake him and just say, why are you so calm?
Yeah. What's going on with you, dude?
Yeah.
And I told you, Bill Leff, who's going to be on the show Monday to celebrate our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
He told, when he came on the show, it was Conrad's first show producing. And Bill said, Pete, I just want to tell you that when we were off the air, Conrad said after the show, he's going to kill me. He said that on the air, and Conrad's eyes just got, like, I knew he was kidding, but he still was like, it was just a moment, but he kept his cool. So good for him.
Yeah.
Conrad will be back tomorrow night. Todd is filling in. We're going to have, and whenever Todd is here, and even sometimes when Todd is not here, I like to talk about ghost stories with Todd because he has a side hobby of investigating the paranormal, which I find fascinating. And let's rope our first guest into that too, Todd. Heather Heil's going to be here.
Yep.
She's going to talk about Bark and Blue. They have this great event coming up it involves rum and dogs. I hear you. And that's how she described it to me in the text to me. So that's how I'm explaining it. She will explain in greater detail when she is on the show at 6:35 tonight. And then it's always fun to hang out with Heather. She's always up for anything. We'll talk maybe do a little ghost talk. I want to find out what's going on at the Green Bay Children's Museum. That is her day job, but she has many interests and is kind of a staple here in Green Bay. So Heather will be here at 6:35, and then comedian Kevin Callum will be here at 7:20. He's doing a tour with 2 other comics through Wisconsin. They're doing small towns, which I think is great. And we talked to Mary Mack about that maybe 3 months ago. She was doing a tour of small towns. And you know what? What's so cool in a lot of small towns, everywhere, but certainly in Wisconsin as well, they have these little, really quaint, fun theaters. So why not do stand-up comedy there? I think that's great. So we'll talk to Kevin. I've never met Kevin. We'll talk to him at 7:20. And a fun show tonight all the way around, because I don't know if you've heard this commercial, Todd. It drives me crazy. It's Brian Cox doing a commercial for McDonald's.
Okay.
And you got a 4-piece McNuggets. Like, we're way beyond the time when celebrities don't cash in, and I don't blame them for cashing in. You got to make the money while you can. But as a consumer and a lover of the arts, it just bothers me when I hear these guys hawking McNuggets. Brian Cox.
And by hawking McNuggets, you mean selling them, not actually upchucking them.
Not doing a hawk to a girl type.
Right.
Yeah. And look, I mean, again, he's from Succession. He was the first Hannibal Lecter in Manhunter. The guy's a great actor. And hearing him in that distinguished British accent talk about the McDonald's menu is just really rough. But there's a few of them. There was a Robert Conrad commercial. Remember that when we were in the 70s? I dare you to knock this off my shoulder. A battery. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, but okay, whatever, you go with it. But I remember thinking, it's weird. This guy's doing commercials. And listen, I am judging, but I'm not, because I think I would be the first guy to go. Who's got a commercial for
I was just
me?
going to say, if somebody called you up tonight on the hotline and said, Pete, we want you to push.
You name it.
Yeah.
I have no shame.
You'd eat, what did you say on one of your promos? You'd eat cough drops or something like that during the movies? If somebody, the nut company, the big nut company.
Yeah, I'd
right?
cash in on that big nut money.
Yeah.
That was Stuart Waddles, I think.
Yeah,
that,
it was.
That pushed me to that. But yeah, listen, Daddy's got kids in college. I need the money. I would do a commercial.
Don't you think that says something more about us as a country when we spend millions of dollars to go to the movies and we listen to some guy that is an actor tell us what to buy and we go out and buy it? Right?
But that's interesting. Maybe that should be the question. Would you do that? Would you go out and order this crappy value meal because Brian Cox is pushing it? They're just paying him. It's not like he's ordering that off the menu every day.
Right.
Right? So anyway, it's time, folks. It's time for the question of the night. So Todd, if you please.
All right, stand by, because now I got to find it, but I do. Here it comes.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
Does it bother you when celebrities do commercials? Jay Leno did a commercial for Doritos years ago. He's making $10 million a year. Does he have to sell Doritos? So that's the question tonight, folks. Very straightforward, very simple. How do you feel when you see your favorite actor? When I say actor, I mean actress too, doing commercials. Does it bother you? It bothers me. It doesn't ruin my day, but I kind of feel like, you know what? Let other actors who are still trying to make a living get that paycheck. You don't need it. That's my take. But let us know what you think. 855-752-4842. 855-75-CIVIC. You can text us your answer or let us know on the app or the stream. However you are watching Nite Lite tonight, it's just great to have you. So please be part of the show. It's always so much more fun when I get to read your texts on the radio. And let us know what you think about our question of the night. What do you think of that montage, Todd? Was that
kind of cool? Did you put that together?
Yes.
Okay, come on.
Conrad cut it.
Yeah.
But I found the little beats
Okay,
and Dwight
gotcha.
saying. So I thought,
Perfect. Nice.
He found some good music for it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a collaboration. But
Nice work.
Yeah, thank you. That's always nice to
I'm
make
going to
the
hire you
boss
for the
happy.
morning show. And
Do I have to get up early?
yes.
No, thanks. All right, this bothered me today, Todd. I got to get this off my chest. I'm in Marinette. I'm going to get a burrito at my favorite burrito place, Blue Bike Burrito, if you're in Marinette. And So I'm on my way there, and this guy lets this woman into the road. She's pulling out from a car wash, and he stopped in front of me. I said, he's going to let her go. And he lets her onto the road. She doesn't wave.
Like to say thank you or anything?
Nothing. Just, you should let me in. I'm entitled. It was that kind of thing. That drives me crazy. It costs nothing. It takes no time, unless her arm was in a sling and I didn't see that.
Right.
At least not then.
Right.
You got to acknowledge people being good human beings and helping you out. I don't know. Am I on an island here? That drove me bananas. You wave, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't strike me as a non-waver. So I don't know. That drove me kind of crazy. And then I realized playing over the Thanksgiving holiday, I had several games of charades.
Okay. Really?
Yes.
I kind of asked that question. Really?
It's not 1984. I know that. But I did play charades quite a few times, and there is nothing funnier than someone who is there who doesn't know the family that well, who is horrible at charades. And there's that awkward thing where even their own team is giving suggestions, like, try this, and the other team isn't even stopping them. Oh, it's such a gorgeous. I live for socially awkward moments.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I alone there too? Maybe. I love watching people sweat. It's funny. It's absurd. And it made my Thanksgiving. I was thankful for those moments.
Charades.
Yeah.
Really?
Really? Is that?
I don't know. Was it a big family thing?
It was like 14 people. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's a big party.
Some family and a couple stragglers.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And it's, it was like a Griswold old-fashioned family.
Anybody wearing a dickie drinking eggnog?
His daughter's starting her career. College? Carnival.
I love that movie.
I love it too. I'll watch it this year like I do every year. Probably more than once, actually, because when people are there, you want to just put it on. And it's good background, too. So I covered two of the things that I did see Wicked, which I loved.
Was it good?
I saw Gladiator 2 last weekend. I saw Wicked with a group. And I sat in front of people who I think thought they were in their own living room because they talked and kicked my seat. And I turned around and I gave him a look and I said, will you please stop kick? I was hoping it was a guy like my age. It was a girl who was like 12. So now I got to back up.
Well, no wonder you're in a bad mood tonight.
Are we going to break or do I just
need
background music?
No, we are.
Okay, we'll be right back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. We have a special guest coming up next to review a film.
Sweat on now, Rosie. Dr. John cut loose of Mama's ray. Yeah, playing blind man's bluff is a little bit.
This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW. This Giving Tuesday, Civic Media invites you to make a difference, help a neighbor, volunteer with a local organization, or support a Wisconsin nonprofit with a donation. Giving back starts right here, in your community. Learn how you can make an impact today. Visit civicmedia.us. Civic Media, proud to support Giving Tuesday in the spirit of giving throughout Wisconsin.
It was time to make our own Christmas traditions. For years, we've been trekking to both sets of in-laws, both Christmas dinners. It was just too much. So this year, we started to look for a place to get together in Alexandria, Minnesota. Christmas lights that will light up our kids' faces, a new adventure, create some wonder. It makes us wonder, why didn't we do this sooner?
Start planning your time together in the Lakes area. Explore your holiday getaway options at explorealex.com.
Hey there, it's Carrie Joy with your Work Money Minute. Today I've got some wonky terminology, so bear with me. I'm talking about credit utilization and how that affects your credit score. Credit utilization just means how much of your credit you're using. So let's say you have a $10,000 limit on your credit card. Now, lots of us think it's okay to spend up to that $10,000 every month as long as you pay it off in full at the end of the month. Well, it turns out the credit bureaus, these agencies that assign us our credit scores, they only want us to use maybe 10, 20, or maximum 30% of our credit limit each month, like $1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000 tops if you've got $10,000 in credit. And your credit utilization counts for 30% of your total credit score. I don't love the rules, but knowing them helps us manage our credit scores the way we want to. For more about credit scores or just about getting good at money, check out my videos at Work Money Media on YouTube.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay. Sherry from Horicon checks in from the 920 and says, good evening, Pete and Todd. It's nice to be included, huh, Todd?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good evening, Sherry. Glad to have you with us as usual. Annie from Watertown says, OMG, Pete. Same thoughts when I heard McDonald's commercial. Annie, it's the only one I hear now. It's like I hear that 3 times a day, and it's so disturbing. It's the way he says it's. I think it's like sort of the sophistication of that British actor saying McNuggets.
Yeah.
It's too different. It's and a 4-piece McNuggets. It's just.
Well, here's my question. Do we have to have a British actor do it? Can't we have an American actor do it?
Yeah. Have The Rock do it.
Yeah.
Intellectually, that's like a wash, you know?
Well, I'm
Ryan
not going to
Cox.
say that because you could beat me up, but
I think you could take him.
I don't think I could.
The camera adds 10 pounds, Todd. He is not as buff as he looks. Trust me. Sherry also says, no, does not make me buy the item. I am with you, Sherry. From the 920, I don't mind actors being in commercials, but the question I ask is, are they a fan of the product or just money grabbing? Great point. I do hate paid actors doing doctor medical type commercials. Nothing like a fake doctor telling you to buy something. That's a good one, too.
I play a doctor on TV.
So you should use this medicine. I don't even know.
Do you have hemorrhoids?
Oh, that's funny. Great text as always. And then on the stream, I lost my stream comment. What was that? Someone checking in. Oh, this is great. Sean Ellis on the stream says, aloha, Pete Schwaba from Malike, Hawaii. Did I say that wrong? Malike, Hawaii. I almost said Malike Maka. Thanks for listening, Sean. Great to have you with us tonight. All right, we have a special. This is kind of fun. We have a special guest tonight, kind of a guest movie reviewer who's also produced Nite Lite from time to time when I'm in Madison. Typically he produces the Todd Alba show, which is a phenomenal show here you can hear on the network from noon to 2 every day. And his name is Aaron Zommers, and he watched a movie I want to talk to him about, and he offered his talents tonight. So it's great to have him. Aaron, how are you?
Doing well. I'm standing outside the Nitty Gritty in Madison, taking this call real quick.
So I'm interrupting the mission you're on tonight.
What's the Nitty Gritty? That sounds cool.
Oh, it's a birthday bar. It's a bar and grill, but they have special birthday stuff. So I get to drink free today.
And we got you early enough in the night where it won't affect your review, I'm assuming.
Yes. I will be able to go through Hot Frosty.
Well, happy birthday, buddy. Very excited. Do you mind telling us how old you are, or do you not want to go there?
26.
26? Oh, my gosh.
All right, you know what? That's like half my age. Get out of here.
we need his review first, Todd. Then we can kick him loose. Well, happy birthday, buddy. Hope you're having a great night. And I'm thrilled that you still wanted to give this review on your birthday and take time out of your busy day. So you watched a film called Hot Frosty. And I have to be honest, when you reached out today, I kind of had forgotten about the film. But it's like a Lifetime parody, right? Tell us about it.
Yeah. So Hot Frosty is a Netflix film that's kind of like you said, kind of a parody of Hallmark or Lifetime Christmas movies.
Yeah.
It's appropriately bad but fun.
Okay.
So if you love cheesy Christmas movies, you're probably going to have a good time. If you love making fun of cheesy Christmas movies, you're probably going to have a good time. But if you are a nerd about movie production, it might drive you insane. It centers around a town whose specialty is making snow sculptures that are really good. At least in the winter, that's their specialty. And they make one that's looks kind of like Michelangelo's David. And the main character, who is Gretchen Wieners from Mean Girls, or played by the same person at least, puts a scarf that she does not know is enchanted around this snowman, and he comes to life. And because he was literally born yesterday, and he's a snow sculpture that didn't have any clothes, he starts streaking through the town. And law enforcement gets involved, and it's just a crazy thing. But the production angle that I brought up earlier, the snow sculptures are clearly made of styrofoam, and sometimes people bump into them and they jostle around. And so there are a lot of production mistakes that made it into the final cut. And if that kind of thing drives you up the wall, it might not be the movie for you, but otherwise, it's just a fun, ridiculous holiday movie.
Well, you and I have talked movies enough so that I respect your opinion, and I feel like there's probably something here. And I'm looking at it on Rotten Tomatoes right now. 85% from critics, who obviously got the joke. 54% of audiences liked it, just over half. So they probably went into it thinking we were going to see an actual full-blown cheesy Christmas movie, and it was all tongue-in-cheek, I'm guessing?
Right. Yeah. It kind of rides the line where if you don't know that it's a little bit of a joke, you might not think it is, and then be like, oh, that was fine.
That's so great. Here's the summary. 2 years after losing her husband, Kathy magically brings a handsome snowman, I don't get that, to life. Through his naivety, the snowman helps Kathy to laugh and feel and love again as the two fall for each other just in time for the holidays. Is there any sex in this movie, Aaron?
There is not. I've actually read a review of it that, upon seeing that, I agree with it. It's kind of like if you took the ridiculous plot of I'll say an online documentary of adult activities, the ridiculous plots
right.
of like a porn video, and then just took out all the porn, and it's just a plot.
Where do I sign up for that?
I mean, I, for one, think that kind of stuff is hilarious. So this fits with that pretty well.
Call me crazy. If I'm watching porn, I want some sex in there. Just pepper it sporadically, even if you have to. But I think they're missing a perfect thing to go with a fetish snowman thing here. That's just me.
They might be, yeah.
God, I bet that audience is huge. What are you into? What's your kink? Snowmen.
I have one question for you, Aaron, regarding snowmen. If someone wanted to, if Todd said, come over and watch Netflix and chill, I've got a snowman movie.
Oh, God.
Where would that go?
Well, since I know Todd did not know what Netflix and chill meant until I told him a couple weeks ago, I would probably be willing to come over, but I would have, fake plans that night, like, oh, sorry, I need to leave early.
Right. Poor Todd. And let's clarify. Todd Alba.
Todd Alba.
Yeah, not Todd
Yes.
Michaels. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
He's lucky to have you, buddy. You're a lifesaver. So keep him out of trouble. And if we write the sequel to this thing, we got to put some snowman sex in there. I don't feel bad suggesting that either.
No, I think that would be an improvement, especially because they have the whole, skin contact. How does it work when you're touching a snowman? Are they going to start melting? And that could make for some interesting plot points, I suppose.
I think so, too. Here's what you do. You just move the carrot down about 3 feet. And then I think...
There you go.
Stop.
Aaron, happy birthday, buddy. Have a great night, and thank you for checking in.
Thank you.
All right. That's Aaron Zommers.
He's so awesome. I love him.
Producer of the Todd Alba Show. He volunteered to come on and do that. I love it, too. That was fun. All right, when we come back, our friend Heather Heil will be here. We're going to talk about rum and dogs and a lot of other stuff, folks. You're not going to want to miss this. Heather's always fun. She's in studio. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite with Todd Michaels riding shotgun on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Oh, baby, I want to taste your lips. I want to be a fantasy. Yeah.
From Ashwaubenon to Alloway, this is 97.9 WGBW. Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. The holiday season is upon us, and that means it's time to go out and see the lights. With more, here's Civic Media's Jimmy Kuska.
Holiday light displays begin this week across the state, and with more, here's Logan Roque of Travel Wisconsin.
These are wonderful volunteer-led displays of fantastic pops of color, a ton of big ones to check out. In Oshkosh, they have their Celebration of Lights, and that starts this Friday, November 29th. That is a drive-through display at the EAA grounds, and it features hundreds of thousand light bulbs. There is Green Bay's Garden of Lights. So this is a event that takes over the Green Bay Botanical Garden, and it's these fantastical light displays. So really, you got a lot of options throughout the state.
A full list of holiday lights and other events is available on the Travel Wisconsin website. For Civic Media News, I'm Jimmy Kuska.
Former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice David Prosser died this weekend. He was 81 years old. Brian Schimming, the chair of the Wisconsin Republican Party, announced Prosser's death in a social media posting. He said Prosser passed early Sunday evening after a several-month battle with cancer. Prosser was appointed to the Supreme Court by Governor Tommy Thompson in 1998 and was elected to 10-year terms in 2001 and 2011. He stepped down from the court in 2016. Before serving in the court, Prosser had an 18-year career in the state legislature representing the Appleton area in the Assembly. He was a minority leader for 6 years and Speaker from 1995 to 96. Arrangements are pending. From local news to what's going on around the state, Civic Media's mission is to bring you real news and great conversation. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. It's been a long road for the live-action version of Snow White, but there is now a release date in sight. The Disney flick has been in development since 2016 and was supposed to be released in 2024. Greta Gerwig wrote the script for the film, which stars Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. Snow White will hit theaters March 21st of 2025. Hollywood is full of crazy stories, and actor Josh Brolin has a doozy he shared in his new memoir, From Under the Truck. Brolin tells the story of when he met acting legend Marlon Brando. Brolin attended a dinner at his stepmother Barbara Streisand's house, along with John Travolta and Kelly Preston. Brolin recalled that Brando showed up with a bleeding leg because he stopped to pull someone from a mudslide on the way to the party. Travolta, a well-known Scientologist, noticed and told Brando he had just gotten to the next level as a Scientologist and said he could heal him. Brolin recalled watching Danny Zuko heal the Godfather, one of the most surreal of his life. It was surreal just reading that. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy, maybe a flurry tonight. Lows upper teens to 20. For tomorrow, mainly cloudy. A high around 30. Some flurries and snow showers possible Wednesday, high in the mid-30s and becoming windy. Colder Thursday before warming through the weekend. Right now it's 33.
The Todd Alba Show.
Tracy Olson, senior advisor at the Lincoln Project.
We as individuals need to be far better in terms of getting the tools we need to have the conversations. You're never going to shame someone out of their political beliefs.
Yes.
You're never going to get them with talking points.
You nailed it. And I think that's what some of our friends on the left don't get. And I think it's destructive and it's not beneficial.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Maggie Dawn Show.
His name's Jeff Mandel, General Counsel for Law Forward.
Mr. Gableman broke more ethics laws and rules than he followed. The attorney's oath here in Wisconsin is fairly long. Mr. Gableman had, in the course of the sham investigation into the 2020 election, violated every single sentence in that oath.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app. Dom Selvia.
Next time, we go overtime with Maggie Dawn. WisDem's chair Ben Wickler makes a run for the DNC. Also, Susan Webb.
Welcome back. That text, by the way, Doctors Doing Commercials, was from Lee in De Pere. I just wanted to give credit. Thank you, Lee, for that. We got a good laugh out of that. That's our question for the night, folks. I don't know if these things bother you like they do me, but when actors do commercials, and it could be specific commercials too. Sometimes I don't like the two guys from Scrubs with the T-Mobile commercials.
You don't like
enough. The first one was like, oh, that's fun. And then they think it's like, no, we don't want a show based around this. But it kind of drives me a little nuts.
But sometimes the actors completely make that, Pete. So think about like the Betty White commercials with the Snickers hunger thing. Like it wouldn't have the same effect without Betty White in there.
I agree with that, and I love Betty White.
Right.
You better.
I think it's the.
I know.
I'll come
See,
through that
just
window
throw down
right
with
now.
Betty White right away, and we stop the conversation.
That is the voice of Heather Heil, Green Bay's own. A mover and a shaker from the Green Bay Children's
try to be
Museum.
everything
Bark
that's
and
supposed
Blue.
to be.
Yeah. So I kind of like, I had all these questions for you, but then we're talking during the break and you gave me like 12 more things to ask you.
I got a lot to say.
Let's
Sorry.
start on a personal level because I consider you a friend. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was lovely. Thank you. I am on the race crew for the Festival Foods Turkey Trot. So I was out with 7,000 of my closest friends making a great tradition for them and doing their race here in Green Bay.
Wow.
And then I went home and took a little snooze for about an hour. And then I went and did the tailgate thing and cheered on our Green Bay Packers to a victory.
That is a full Northeast Wisconsin day.
You have too much energy. Like, I couldn't do the turkey trot, let alone going out and being in the parking lot at the Packer
I
game.
don't think I could do the nap. That would overwhelm me.
Did the whole thing. I slept all day on Friday, though. Not going to lie.
That's
Like,
awesome.
I was done. So it
Well,
was
that's-
great. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was lovely. I did not, I really, I was doing this great thing where I was eating right and I was exercising, and then Thanksgiving weekend hit, and I'm like, I barely fit into this shirt somehow.
Right. Same.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I had,
You just feed bags come on. and
it
it's
looks like an extra medium, and it's just like sort of.
Ironically, Heather said something when she walked in and saw you. She's like, "Is that shirt too small?"
I'm like, whoa,
Is that
Pete,
even
man.
Pete?
Yeah.
Who
are
Something's
you?
wrong there. What's with
No.
that thorax? So anyway, it was a great Thanksgiving.
Yes, thank you.
But Todd was teasing me because we played charades at my house. So am I stuck in like 1979, or do
No,
people
I
still
love
do
a
that?
good game of charades or different games. There's actually a game right now that I saw on like TikTok or something. I don't even know what
Yeah.
it was, where you can only make sounds to describe the words to the teams. And I
Oh,
thought,
wow.
oh, this is so great. So like you pull a card and it says cat, and all you can do is go meow. Yeah, that was a great cat, by the way. Yeah, but they're harder than that. Meow.
Where's my bell?
Coming this fall on Game Show Network, Heather Heil hosts
Sound effects.
Animal charades.
What's that noise?
So good at that. I do want to be one of your film people, though. Can I do reviews for movies for you?
Listen, you first. Hold on. I want to say one more thing
Yeah.
before we move, and then of course you can. But I also forgot to tell Todd this. We played charades on Thanksgiving. 2 days later, we got together and we just made up a game, and it had the makings of a train wreck all over it. It was like a hybrid of 3 different games, and nobody knew the rules, and we were like halfway through it. And then you realize it's just about the people you're with. And
100%.
You're laughing at the absurdity. It has
Yes.
nothing to do with the game.
Is there alcohol involved?
I was just
also?
going to ask the same thing.
Yeah, some people, although, yeah, a few of us didn't. Like, I haven't had a drink in a couple of years, so, and I really hate that I haven't. I don't like myself for not drinking.
No,
but
I think I think it's like an amazing thing that you're doing that. But usually, like, we all have that one person in our family who doesn't know. Yeah, it's usually me. When
to stop.
Yeah, when to stop, and then you're like, just let them go, like wind them up and let
She's
them go.
dancing with the leg lamp. I know, it's okay.
This is going to make great video.
It's
Keep
just
going.
Heather. That's just Heather at a gathering. No, but it's always about half, but nobody was like drunk. It was
Okay.
just like kind of, I don't know. It was fun. So, all right. So you heard also on your way here, Aaron Zommers reviewing Hot Frosty,
Which
I have to watch now.
He did a great job doing that. So bravo, Aaron. But I'm going to tell you, I had a really hard time I've watched said movie.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really hard time getting past the fact that the 2 lead characters in this movie were from Mean Girls.
Yeah.
And the snowman man who comes to life that she falls in love with is the hot doctor who is on Schitt's Creek.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is. It's him. So, and he's like really ripped and like smoking hot. And I'm like, oh, like when did they become B-roll actors? Like what is happening? But I love that it was like making fun of like Hallmark movies, and not that
that
it
was
was
the whole
making fun,
point
but
of
it
it,
was
right?
just kind of
Yeah.
a spoof on it. It was cute.
Does he turn from a snowman into like a hot guy? Is that how that
Yeah,
works?
he is. And he's like naked in the Times Square. And then like the old couple who walks their dog every day sees them walking and they're like, ooh, sexy man who's
Sexy
naked.
snowman, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is so ripe for jokes, Todd. I really need you to reel me back right now because my mind is racing.
Go for
a
it.
mile.
I'm ready to go.
We get it censored? Okay.
No.
The day that we, yeah. Mhm.
Let's keep it family friendly. I know Sherry from Horicon is listening, and I don't want to upset her.
Don't, no.
If she wasn't
like
offended
Sherry.
by your carrot comment earlier about dropping it down 3 feet, I don't think she'll be offended.
Oh, Pete.
Right?
Lost
Talk about
cause.
low-hanging
Yeah.
fruit. You know what I'm saying?
Vegetables.
Yes.
They both work. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard snowmen are great in bed, but
I had not
it's
heard that.
I don't
Mhm.
know. It's a snowman.
But he magically has a scarf and he comes to life and he's a
it's
human.
like Frosty.
Yeah, like Frosty. He comes
That's
to
why
life.
they call
and
it
then
Hot Frosty.
But he's a hot guy.
He's a
hot guy.
hot guy.
Like if the
Yeah.
snowman from
Jeez,
Frosty
settle down.
became, if the snowman from Frosty became a real guy, it'd be like Lou Grant or Dom DeLuise, and you don't need, nobody needs to see that.
Durante, right? Jimmy Durante did the
Durante.
voice, right? So it'd be Jimmy.
It'd be Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're envisioning that
Frosty
right
the
now. Yeah.
Snowman.
Almost made
But
a
he starts
nose
like
joke.
all he does is like sit and watches her TV all day, and then he learns like how to fix things. And she has things wrong with her house, so she starts roofing and doing.
He sounds
kind
of useless, but he's hot enough where she'd want to keep him around and
she
train
does,
him,
trying to figure
and
it out.
mold
Yes.
him into the man.
Well, and he accidentally, because he's naked, like busts through a window to get clothes, so he stole. So the police officer is trying to find him, so she's protecting him from the police officer.
The nude guy.
The nude man. Yeah.
None of this is making sense to me.
I got to tell you, I was going to go see this movie tonight. It's on Netflix. I was going to go home and watch it, but it seems to me like, have you ever noticed, like my friend Paul, when he moved to LA, there was an earthquake, and he said he wasn't prepared for the amount of nudity during an earthquake because it was the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, as a matter of fact, there was a suspicious amount of nudity. Some guy kicked his underwear off and ran out because there was a chance to be naked. I'm just saying, the snowman, this sounds a little suspect.
There was only like one nude scene, just the one.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I brought up a picture. I'm not sure if you can see it in the studio under the Nite Lite tab for the studio link. Is that the guy?
Nite Lite tab for the
I don't know the actor's name. Let's
His
see.
name is, I just had it here when
Did
Aaron
you?
was on.
I should have if I was a reviewer, I would have all of this
It's
prepared
he's
and be here for you people to
Lacey
say.
Chabert, right, is the girl. Dustin Milligan? This guy?
Yeah, that's
Dude's
the guy.
got some weird teeth, though, right?
No,
He's a British
he's
snowman?
very handsome.
Of course he's British.
British snowman,
Yeah.
Yeah. He's okay.
Needs to see a
What
dentist.
British people do? What does that sound? See, no, okay, now we're gonna.
They do. And I think, admittedly, and I work over there a little bit, their teeth are not great.
They do it. That's the thing, right? They have, but this is like his highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
that.
And this is like, I would love to see a British snowman saying stuff like, let's have a bath and pop into bed, like.
Kind of, yes. Mm-hmm.
But he can't really take a bath because he's a snowman. So overall, thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think?
Overall, 2 stars, thumb down. Thumbs
2
down.
stars, thumbs
Oh,
down.
even though he's hot. And
Even though he's hot. Mm-hmm. Again, I couldn't get past the Mean Girls woman as the
Yeah.
actress and him being the hot Frosty.
So bad casting.
Yeah. Again,
Right.
see, that's my commercial thing, like yours,
Yeah.
where I'm like, don't put people you know in a movie like this. You want them to be no names.
Bad casting drives me crazy. Not just when I'm fishing either, but when I'm watching a movie where the cast just does not.
Ba-dum-bum.
You can no. You started to laugh and then you went with ba-dum-bum like you didn't want to. That's just you're so rude, Heather.
No, it was a polite laugh, and then I realized you're not laughing. That's not funny. Yeah.
I don't laugh at my own jokes.
Yes, you do.
Take your cues from
Okay.
Todd's got a pretty good barometer for comedy, I think. Right?
pretty much.
Todd's a funny dude. Yes.
Yeah, he makes me laugh. All right, so this is ridiculous. Let's get down to the kidding around is pretty much over. You've got
We're done.
serious stuff here to
I do.
Yeah, so let's talk about, first of all, tell people that might be listening about Bark and Blue.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
The Bark and Blue Foundation is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization that serves police canines in the Brown County and Outagamie County areas. The only reason that it is limited to those 2 counties is because those are counties that help us with our fundraising efforts. So
Okay.
if there's someone out there listening who might want to be interested in it, we would love to have those conversations with you. So people want to meet your dogs and want to engage with your police department. So I need you in helping with our fundraising efforts. So we raise money for these officers and canines, so the teams, to help offset any funds that they might not have in their city's budgets. And not that the cities aren't budgeting for them, they're just dogs. And anyone who owns a pet knows that pets can be expensive, especially a working dog who might bust a tooth or might break something because they're just doing different training. So we just want to make sure that we're helping to take care of them and keeping them healthy. But we really want to help with the training costs for them so those things don't happen to begin with.
So, but these dogs are considered police officers, really, right?
100%. They
But-
they have a badge,
Okay.
the whole 9 yards. Mm-hmm.
And then, did they have a dental plan?
They do not have a dental plan. I'm trying to work on
Oversight.
that. Believe you me. Yeah.
So, but the fact that you have to raise money, that's kind of troubling. Like, it seems like they should be covered, right? I mean,
They should in theory, but some of the cost you don't know what you're looking to cover, and a lot of government agencies don't see those as necessities with those. And as a dog lover and those out there, of if your police, for example, water dishes for their car and just specialty things that we can help them with.
That's so great. Do the dogs?
Excuse me, water dishes was a terrible example. Like first aid kits. They make specialty first aid kits for police dogs. And why this is important, we actually gave one to the Green Bay Police Department. And a few years back, one of their dogs was stabbed in an incident, and that first aid kit was the first line in saving that dog's life.
Oh, that's so cool.
So those types of things that don't seem like things that they need we just help to offset those costs.
How did you get involved? Like, you're not a police officer. You do love dogs, you said, but what made you kind of jump into the fray and be an advocate for dogs that are police officers?
There had been a dog in the Fond du Lac area who was hurt in the line of duty, and I really wanted to do something for that dog. And they were so overwhelmed with community support, which is awesome. Go Fond du Lac.
Yeah.
That I had been going through a program called Leadership Green Bay at the time in Green Bay, and the police chief, Jim Arts, was in my class, and I said, I really need to do something. And he put me in touch with his canine lieutenant, and him and I started raising. I'm like, what do you need? And he was telling me about dogs that were perishing in squad cars because there were no alert systems, like on a hot summer day.
Oh my gosh.
When you would leave a dog in the car to go check on a call that you might not need the dog, there was no way to tell if something happened to the car. So in Brown County and Outagamie County right now, all of the cars have alert systems, and a dog will never perish from heat or freeze from cold.
That's so cool. So these dogs, I'm fascinated by that. Like, do you think they like being police dogs?
You
think they look at other dogs chasing sticks and go, oh God, why can't I do that?
No.
Really?
Not at all. These dogs love to work. It is a reward system. It is amazing to watch them work. They know when to turn it on. They know when to turn it off. And I have an event coming up where you can come and meet some of these dogs and see that for yourself.
We're going to talk about that next. That's pretty cool. And I'm amazed, Todd, these dogs are police officers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're an animal lover.
Absolutely.
Do they get retirement?
They do.
Do they divest? Do they have financial planners?
No, they don't.
No. See?
Maybe that's something we have to work toward.
I mean,
right?
that's another goal. Yeah, I just take care of them while they're working. And once they retire, they have a good puppy life.
I don't use the word hero very often when speaking about myself, but I think maybe I should helm that.
Get a cape first.
I could get behind this. Yeah, geez.
All right, Heather Heil is my guest. She's so much fun. She works. Tell us what you do at the Green Bay Children's Museum. I always get your title wrong.
I am the business development director at the Children's Museum. Glorified money raiser to help
your
sustain.
Side hustles. Yeah. You're raising money for everything. You just get people to empty their pockets. That's so cool.
I will be your most expensive friend. I promise.
All right, when we come back with Heather, we're going to be talking booze and dogs. Is it a good combination?
Sure.
You tell us, Heather. We'll talk about that next. So great to have you with me on Nite Lite. This is Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too. Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Todd Alba Show.
Peter Rapine, the managing editor of E-Bombs World.
Another dumb paid millions for a duct-taped banana. You don't get to take home the banana. You're just taking the concept of it.
They sold this for $6.2 million. The guy bought a banana for 35 cents and took a thing of duct tape and put it on a white wall.
It's art, baby.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Maggie Dawn Show.
We know what happened the last time Trump applied this ham-fisted tariff policy. He had to write a $12 billion check to farmers because he crushed so many of our agricultural exports and drove up the cost of single-family homes because the cost of lumber from places like Canada went way the frick up. Everything got more expensive.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
Fear you may be missing out? We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. Enjoy listening live or catch up by finding the podcast at civicmedia.us or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
So, all right, Heather, I know you haven't seen one of the movies I made called The Godfather of Green Bay because you thought you did.
I did. I thought
And you
today I
said-
was in it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was in Pete's film.
You were in a different movie with Green Bay in the title, which happens. It happens.
to everyone. Normal
you thought
thing.
you were
Totally
in,
normal.
You know, the Poseidon Adventure. Oh no, it was this
I was
movie.
like, oh my gosh, I was in I was like, I'm gonna go see Pete today. I'm like, what movie did he make? And I looked it up. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the movie that Gina and I went to and tried to be extras in and just didn't make it. And so I was all excited to tell you that, and then wrong movie.
And I shot it down. But here's the
wrong
thing:
movie.
people, when you make a movie in a small town, it becomes kind of known for that town or the title. Like my buddy Bob Brown made a film called Escanaba in the Moonlight.
I've seen this film. I was in
Yeah.
radio when that came out and interviewed
Okay. Jeff
Daniels.
Yeah.
And he had shared at that time that his favorite scene was the bathroom scene when he's in the outhouse and has an explosive problem.
He did that in Dumb and Dumber too.
Yep.
He does great bathroom
There's something
work.
about that. He does. He really does.
But Lauren Holly, who was in my film, The Godfather of Green Bay, is in Hot Frosty.
She is. What is
Yeah.
her role?
I don't know. What did she?
Let me see her.
Let's go to the IMDb.
go to the Google.
Let's go to the tape.
Hot Frosty.
And
Let's see if we
see.
can pull up her scene. I sent her a message about a month ago, and I have not heard back. I'm trying to get her on the show. She hasn't even read it yet. She probably just kicked it right to voicemail. Here's Hot Frosty. Okay, Lauren plays. Where is she? Lauren plays
And if
Jane
you-
Miller. Does that sound familiar?
No.
Okay.
No, she wasn't a hot man with his shirt off. So,
so Heather
does
even
not have
notice
any
that.
idea.
No, she had her shirt on the entire time. I don't know who that
She's
is.
like, oh, I remember there were some women in the film, but
I think that, I saw some longer hair. But
I honestly, I don't remember her.
God, her IMDb
Unfortunately.
rating is 113. She's way up there. Is that from Hot Frosty? Do you think?
It could be. This film is. People are
Pretty
loving
hot.
this film.
I like the Hot Frosty. Opposites, whatever you call it, oxymoron.
I know. Yeah, a lot going
in
on
this
there.
my case, just a moron. All right, Heather Heil is here. It's so great to have you here in the studio.
you.
I love that you come downtown here, all the way downtown from the. You live in the suburbs.
I do. I live in De Pere.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, take a little trip.
Yeah.
Come to see you.
Come into
It's
the big
perfect.
city.
I know. Mhm.
You're no stranger to the big city. Let's talk about this really cool event you have, the Bark and Blue Foundation Vodka and Rum Launch Party. I love that alcohol was worked into this.
Anytime that I can bring all of the things together, I will.
And is this a fundraiser for all the stuff we were just talking about?
It is.
Tell us about
So our friend Tom, who owns Paradise North Distillery here in Green Bay, which is a rum distillery. So it's our only distillery here in Green Bay, and you should go visit it regardless. Tom and I sat down and had I had some beverages and talked about him creating a rum to sell to make money for the police canines. So we did a bunch of tastings and we ended up with a rum and a vodka that he is making specialty for us. And we're going to do a big launch party with those bottles coming up on December 12th at Paradise North.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So is the idea being that when you set it in this kind of setting, people just empty their pockets and you make good money from the alcohol sales that you can funnel to the fundraiser?
The ultimate goal is to raise money for the
Yeah.
canines. However, it is an opportunity for you, your friends, get together. It's hard to get together for the holidays. We all
Yeah.
say, hey, let's get together. This might be a great opportunity for you to get them together. Come and try some of these drinks. And he's going to have like these really great drinks with these. So with the vodka, he's going to make a puppy teeny and a Barkin' Stormy, which will be vodka with a ginger
I love that
beer,
one.
right? And then there's going to be the Barkin' Blue Caramel Coconut Rum, which will be a thin blue line, which is similar to a White Russian, and something
nice.
called an Unleashed, which is a rum old fashioned. And if you have not had a rum old fashioned, you
I
are
have
in
not.
for a treat.
Really?
Yeah.
Better
So
than like whiskey or brandy?
I
or
drink.
comparable?
That's all I drink now. Yeah,
Rum.
is the rum old fashions. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really delightful. So you can come and try those. He'll have his other full menu. You can also just sample them and be able to purchase them. And then a portion of those bottles will go directly to the Barkin' Blue Foundation. We will have officers with their partners there from Green Bay, Ashwaubenon, Brown County, all there. So you can come and get all your puppy love in them. And then also a local restaurant called Margaritas here in Green Bay is going to be catering and food. So, and Leo G is going to play music. So it's really a full night. It's from 6 until 8. Come, eat, drink, and be merry.
And it's December. Where is
December
it?
12th. It's a
December
Thursday
12th.
evening.
Oh, that's great. So tell us about Leo G. Is he a jazz musician?
He kind of plays a little bit of everything.
Okay.
He's an acoustic guy.
Oh, okay.
Really, really fun music to listen to. And again, to come and have some holiday cheer. And the best way to spread holiday cheer is barking loud for all to hear, Pete.
Love it.
Ha, ha.
You were just telling me to during the break. I said people go more crazy for animals than they do other people. And you said sometimes, Heather said sometimes I go and I was like, oh, there's a sick child and we need to raise this. And they're like, I'm having a tough
I'm
month.
sorry. We're going to pass. It's really not in the
But tell-
budget. And then like a week later, I'm like, oh gosh, I need this for a puppy because what? Sure. What do you need? Where do I write the check to?
Here's a blank check.
And there's no judgment there because there's just people who really connect with dogs.
Yeah.
So we all have different heartstrings, and this is really a fun way to do that with these police dogs.
So where can people find out more information about this event? Is there a website or
Sure, we
just,
have it's barkinblue.org.
Okay.
And it's the letter N, and then also on our Facebook page. Now, I want to also mention, Pete, this is a free event.
Oh, wow.
I just ask that you register on Eventbrite, and there's a link on our Facebook page for that, just so I kind of know how many
Sure.
people I should be catering food for.
Do you have any idea how many you'll have?
No.
Nothing yet. Todd, are you gone?
Oh, everyone's going.
More than likely, yeah.
Oh, thanks for bringing this out.
Huh? Come on.
This
Little
was
holiday spirit, little dog action.
This was supposed to be a novelty like in 1976, and somehow it made it into the rotation as one
Sure
of the
did.
classics.
Sure did.
Boy, you're crabby tonight.
All right, we'll have a few more minutes with Heather when we come back. I'm not kicking out. You can stay as long as you want.
Yes, okay.
Let's make it a
I'm here.
sleepover.
Okay.
Nite Lite with Ebenezer Scrooge over there.
Guilty as charged. This is Pete Schwaba, Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network. Stay tuned for award-winning news and then more with our friend Heather Heil. Coming up next.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Maggie Dawn Show.
Maggie Dawn.
Next, we discuss how the heck do we evaluate if the Donald Trump 2.0 presidency is a success? I'd like to hear from you, MAGA voters. Tune in.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekday afternoons from 2 till 4. The Dom Salvia Show.
Harvey K., Professor Emeritus of Democracy at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. Harvey, I know you're the big FDR expert.
In 1934, he decided that the inequality and the wealth accumulated at the top was a threat not only to the American economy, but also to the American democratic spirit, American democratic life. The way he got our-
Sounds like history's repeating itself.
The Dom Salvia Show. Weekdays from 4 till 6 on the Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app. This is your hometown radio. Refreshed. Keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network. This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. Prosecutors say he was reckless. Daniel Penny's lawyers call him a savior, closing arguments in Penny's trial for the killing of an unruly Jordan Neely on a New York City subway train.
They're saying that while he had Neely by a hold, it was more of a restraint, and there was no evidence that he actually applied pressure, especially in the final 51 seconds where prosecutors say Neely actually died. So they took issue with the idea that the chokehold killed Neely.
ABC's Aaron Katersky. More administration building for President-elect Trump. On his social media, Trump declaring he'll nominate investment banker Warren Stevens as U.S. ambassador to Great Britain. After he didn't show for the start of his federal trial for sexually assaulting black women and girls, ABC News Kansas City affiliate KMBC reports police found former cop Roger Golubsky dead by suicide. This is ABC.
In the market for a home loan? It's time to meet Kristen Ambos, the top 1% of loan originators in the U.S. and the #1 female loan officer in Wisconsin for 2 years running. With over 20 years experience, Kristen and Point Mortgage Corporation are here to serve all of your lending needs, from conventional to FHA, USDA, and VA loans. Plus, with their rate match guarantee, if they can't beat your pre-approved rate, they'll pay you $500. Call Kristen Ambos today at 920-606-1156 and let her and Point Mortgage make your home ownership dreams come true.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions, get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Two Rivers police confirmed that the body of 7-year-old Jacob Bear was recovered from the West Twin River in Two Rivers just before noon Sunday. A missing endangered child alert was issued after 4:30 Saturday afternoon when Jacob, who is described as autistic, was playing outside and his parents lost sight of him. Several agencies searched for Jacob throughout the night. In a press release, Two Rivers police said, quote, "This tragic event is a reminder of how dangerous the ice can be on our waterways, especially this time of year when it's very thin." Jacob was a second grader at Koenig Elementary in Two Rivers. Gas prices plummeted nearly 13 cents a gallon in Green Bay over the last week. According to Gas Buddy, Green Bay prices are averaging $2.73 today. In Appleton, the average is $2.80, down over 8 cents from last week. Wisconsin's average price for a gallon of gas is also down over 8 cents to $2.77. Patrick DeHaan, the head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy, expects low prices to remain through the holiday shopping season. He added potential impacts from tariffs will have no effect until late January, if at all. Last week,
the Bucks have a winning record. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks with a 124-114 win over the Wizards this weekend. So the Bucks now with a record of 10-9, thanks to a 6-game winning streak. I asked Giannis Antetokounmpo what's different about the team now after that 1-6 start to the season.
We know how to win games. The guys kept saying the same thing, like, doesn't matter, just win the game, want to go watch film, be better.
College hoops, the Badgers open up their Big Ten schedule tomorrow night against Michigan at the Kohl Center. Wisconsin undefeated at 8-0. NFL, the Packers getting ready to play the Lions in Detroit this Thursday night. The Badgers football team not invited to a bowl game after their first losing season in 22 years. Where is this program at?
It's really tough to kind of say where we are. Obviously, we're not in a good place. We're 5-7, and really, we're just not even playing well. We got a job to do. We got a job to prepare guys to get ready to play a game, and their job is to play the game. Unfortunately, we haven't done that for quite a while.
That's Badgers head coach Luke Fickell. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at WGBW.FM.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy, maybe a flurry tonight. Lows upper teens to 20. For tomorrow, mainly cloudy. A high around 30. Some flurries and snow showers possible Wednesday. High in the mid-30s and becoming windy. Colder Thursday before warming through the weekend.
Right now, it's 31.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
His name's Jeff Mandel, General Counsel for Law Forward.
Mr. Gableman broke more ethics laws and rules than he followed. The attorney's oath here in Wisconsin is fairly long. Mr. Gableman had, in the course of the sham investigation into the 2020 election, violated every single sentence in that oath.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
From the Lake Shore to Lake Winnebago.
Door to Fond du Lac counties.
Northeast Wisconsin is special for many different reasons. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Family and fun.
Safe communities and friends. We're featuring all of it as part of New Wisco Weekend, a news magazine show just for you, and highlighting what makes the Fox Valley and Green Bay area a great place to live. Join us.
New Wisco Weekend, Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS and the Civic Media app. John Mino and Jim Schmidt.
On Tuesday's show, we're live from our Oshkosh studio with Dale Anderson of the Military Veterans Museum.
Plus, we'll hang out with Pat Tracy from Discover Oshkosh. Man, I hope we make it on time.
Me too.
Join us.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who likes to talk trash, but only when he's at the dump, Pete Schwaba.
All right, so Lee has chimed in again.
Lee, what do you got?
He says, Jane was the lady that Hot Frosty pushed her car out of the snowbank. So that's who Lauren Holly played.
Lee, thank you so
Yes.
much. And she's also the woman who was in Dumb and Dumber. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Picket Fences, Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah.
What Women Want, I remember. She was a finalist for Desperate Housewives, too, because right after she was in The Godfather of Green Bay in Marinette, where she spent like a week, probably
With
the best
you.
week of her life, or she couldn't wait to get out of there.
Maybe that's where the inspiration for Hot Frosty came from when she was in Marinette.
Probably.
You know what? If you look at the guy who plays Hot Frosty and you look at Pete Schwaba and you think back maybe how many years ago was
6
that
months
movie?
ago.
Uh-huh.
It could be you.
It's all coming
2004,
together.
it was a while ago.
Kind of the longer
Things are
hair,
happening.
little wavy.
Yeah. I had an ab roller back then, and I used to blast my quads
Shake
on a
weight.
regular basis. Shake weight. Oh,
He
if there's
was
not-
doing other things with the shake weight. Okay.
It kept me busy. What's a wonderful diversion or a
What's Schwaba doing? It's off in
on the shake weight.
Well, Lee, thank you.
Nothing weird.
Now cleared
Yeah.
up. Yeah, so Hot Frosty was doing a roof and she was driving by and she went to the snowbank and looking at his
Okay.
half naked body.
That's pretty good. And Laura, she's up there on the IMDb. She must be in something else right now because that's huge. 113 on
Yeah,
the,
that's a big
that's-
rating.
that's-
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is Hot Frosty.
Could be. Well, it's a hot movie. It's a hot movie. It's not. It's a very current movie. So, all right, we wanted to, before we moved on, you have the rum and vodka, the Bark and Blue event.
Yep, with Paradise North coming
Paradise
up
North.
on December 12th. And also want to give a big special thank you to the Green Bay Rum Society, who is helping with some cost for this event. So
Very nice.
Thank you, Green Bay Rum Society. And the vodka and rum will be launched that night and only available there. We're not up for distribution this year. So if you're looking to get some of that, come to that event that night. And it'll be a great stocking stuffer. I mean, really, even though you don't drink it, you could still buy some for someone on your list. Todd would love that.
I think I know what I'm getting, Todd.
Absolutely.
I bought some non-alcoholic whiskey about 2 weeks ago.
bet that
Tell me about how delicious that was.
You know, it's all natural. And the fact that I'm
Better.
starting there means they've got a ways to go
Yeah.
before they move.
Yeah.
It needs more of a burn a little bit, but it's like, it's just nice to sip something, but it's still not,
It's
the,
not the
same as
same.
whiskey. I do miss whiskey. I miss the
But they're
first few
trying.
sips of
Yeah.
whiskey. Who's trying? Do you know of someone who has a
no,
good non-alcoholic?
but Tom is listening from Paradise North right now. So Tom, there's a market for non-alcoholic.
I
Just
think
give
so,
it the
Tom.
burn.
And the stuff I bought is like $30 a bottle. It's like more than Tullamore Dew. And I
feel like you got ripped off.
well, it's really hard to get drunk off of it, I guess is what I'm saying.
You're
Like
not
the
supposed
non-alcoholic
to.
whiskey. I drink like 4 bottles. But there is a beer called Blue Moon that they make a non-alcoholic, and you put the orange in there, you don't even know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, it's really
But
good.
see,
I'm not a
think
beer
about
drinker
how
either.
long there's like 25 years. There's been non-alcoholic beer on
True.
the market, so they finally perfected that.
Right.
We might need a little ways to go before we get to the whiskey. Sorry, Pete.
Hey, we're really partying here.
I love
talking
that you're
about
trying.
non-alcoholic refreshments.
Back in his day when he was hot frosty, he'd be drinking the real stuff up on the roof.
His little
You know
hot
what?
toddies.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could drink back then. I could drink till 3:00 in the morning, just whiskey, and then get up at 6
And
be
be
like,
like,
"Let's do this!" Like, because you got so much life in you.
Oh, you do.
At
Give
that
me
age.
some Cheetos and a Mountain Dew.
And
Let's
now
go.
you can't even eat a burrito.
I ate a burrito today, and I was like, oh my
Ooh,
god, I think I'm gonna
heartburn.
die.
Mhm.
You know, and it was delicious, but I just had a heartburn. You get heartburn?
It's starting a little bit.
Starting?
Some things, yeah.
What about
Got to be
you, Tom?
careful.
Is that a personal question?
No, but the topics on the show have just downgraded to like what Mino and the mayor talk about in the morning.
You're welcome.
Heartburn and yeah.
Are we at their level?
Oh my gosh.
Oh dear.
Yeah, steer clear.
We
back
talk
up.
about dogs and alcohol in the same thing, which I think is great. So, what's great about these people is that, you know, like your sponsors, they don't even need, they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart.
Because
But
they
it's nice to
believe
get
in
a
these
shout out.
police officers and helping them out. So thank you so very much for that.
That's so cool. So tell us what is going on at the Green Bay Children's Museum. You must have a ton of stuff coming
We
up.
do. The
for
holidays are a big time for us. So, of course, tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. So, anyone out there listening who has a non-for-profit, tomorrow is a day to just give them a little extra financial gift for the holiday season. So, we, as part of that, we do a Give Back Day where we're doing a free event for families that are of lower social economical areas to come in for free and be able to eat for free. And we actually have the police department come in and help serve food. Santa will be there. The AJ and Gabby Dillon Family Foundation is sponsoring the evening. And actually, they have donated $5,000 to the museum and are looking, well, they will donate up to $5,000 to the museum in matching. So if you donate to the Children's Museum tomorrow, your money could double. So please consider
Wow.
a donation to that.
That's
So-
pretty. Wouldn't you love to be in a position where you could double someone's contribution?
It's like such a beautiful gift when people can do that. Yeah. So be watching for those donations tomorrow with Giving Tuesday. We're excited about that. Of course, we have a Breakfast with Santa coming up. That is like for all families at Mackinac, and that's the second Saturday in December. There's still tickets available to that, and that's just kind of a Christmas exploded type event at Mackinac.
Right.
So you walk up and there's reindeer and it's a log cabin and there's Santa and there's elves and there's cookie decorating and gingerbread and hot chocolate and all of the things.
So how do you, you're so like you got your finger on the pulse. You're doing all this stuff. Do you find it's easier just to stay in that type A mode and keep going from the Bark and Blue event to your day gig at the,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and you're also tied into what's going on in the community. What are some of your favorite events around here at Christmas time?
Well, one of them I actually got to do last night is going to the Union Hotel, which is in De Pere, and they do a carolers night. So they have vintage they're today people clearly, but they're dressed in vintage clothing, and they go table to table and sing Christmas carols, and it's absolutely beautiful. And they have an old nostalgic tree there with all of the old ornaments. It is stunning. It is a must do during the holidays for me.
That's so fun.
Also like to go and take in a show at Let Me Be Frank Productions. They have their Christmas show, which
I'm
is
going.
always when are you going?
December
we should go.
21st. My whole family. Frank, last time he was here, he's like,
You have
gotta
to go.
come out, and we're
It's-
gonna go, and I can't
It's
wait.
funny and beautiful,
Yeah.
and like they just there's so much talent here with that. Also, I know the Holiday Jubilee is going on over at Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers do a really good job in the Titletown district where you can sled on Aaron's Hill and you can skate. I think it's Hy-Vee Plaza is what they're calling that. Go ice skating.
Is that Aaron Rodgers Hill? Aaron's
no,
Hill? Oh,
no.
okay.
Aaron's like the snow thrower hill over there. They also do a free show on the side of Lambeau Field that's really spectacular to watch.
wow.
So you can do that. I'm trying to think. The Mulva Center, which is new in De Pere, also they are new this season showing old classic movies on their screens that they have there.
Oh,
so
where
they're,
is this?
They're
The
doing
Mulva Center?
the Mulva Center. So they're showing It's a Wonderful Life. So I'm hoping to get tickets to go see that. is always awesome. The botanical gardens, Pete, always has those beautiful garden of lights where you can go out and see.
Yeah.
And most of these events for these places, Pete, are fundraisers. So when you're giving the money to do these things and make family traditions, you're also helping non-for-profits out when you do that. And I really, really love that.
Yeah.
The National Railroad Museum has their Festival of Trees where they invite other organizations to come in and decorate Christmas trees among the trains. Stunning, gorgeous, must do during the holiday season. And of course, if you are able, please give blood this holiday season and go ring those bells for the Salvation Army. Just do those as a family and start that young. It's fun.
That's really wow.
Yeah.
Look at you. I mean, I feel very subpar right now. Like I need to do more in my community.
I was going to say this off the air, but I'll say it on the air. She's just one of those people, Heather. You just are. You support so much in our community.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that.
You're like a multiplier. You know,
but I'm going to tell you that these people are doing such amazing things, and I selfishly also, Todd, fit that into my life. So it's not just me like being a good person. It's hey, if you're in a relationship, we have a date night once a week. How can we maximize our date night and give back to something else and support something else in our community? So it's
one word, swinging.
Okay.
What? Have you thought about? It's a fundraiser. It's for a good cause. You said, how can we maximize our date night? Was I out of line there? Was that?
You took that in a different direction. you got off on the off-ramp there.
She was just about to say the churches that are involved behind this.
No, yes. Now there's magical singers at the church. No, I'm just kidding.
The bottom line, I'm blown away by.
It's Pete backing up.
There's just, and that's just here in Brown County of things in Green Bay that I'm doing. So I know other communities have these really cool things. EAA, Todd, has a Festival of Lights down there.
Very nice. Yeah.
So just Google it. Look at what's going on and go support those things. And again, make those traditions with your family.
You need like a website, a local website that you kind of direct people to, I think, whether they want to make charitable contributions or fundraise. I mean, you're like that tied in, Heather, that you should have something like that.
I try to be. Okay. Well, in my free time, Pete.
Yeah, right. After saving the world from everything.
Yeah.
Heather Heil has her own podcast called Hey Heather.
Blog. You need a blog.
And there's going to be sound effects.
Do you have a ghost story for us, Todd? Do you have
always have ghost stories
we can do on Washington here?
I don't know that they do them during the holiday season, but there are a lot of buildings downtown that are haunted. St. Brendan's Inn, the Bellin Building,
the National Railroad Museum,
Capitol, Captain's Walk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why do you say it like that? What happened?
Oh, like that's where, and you've had my friend in here, Charles.
Yeah, he's great.
He does his tours out of Captain's Walk, and you go in their little basement there, and your little ectometers go, they go crazy.
I've never heard of an ectometer, but
yeah, you've watched Ghostbusters, the little thing.
No, but Todd is the guy because Todd is has a healthy skepticism, but also a lot of knowledge. And I had a guest on one night, and Todd's like, I've never heard of that camera.
A word about the Meyer Theater. Did you not talk to Matt Gable and his ghost story?
Yeah, he was great too.
You know that place has got to be. It's got to be. All theaters like that have to be.
You know what? Also, you talked earlier about small towns having these great theaters.
Yeah.
I feel like all of them are haunted, and we really need to support those local theaters too, because they're just so cool.
Our comedian, Kevin, coming on next, is doing a tour of small towns in Wisconsin. I find that fascinating. So we'll talk about that too, and we'll try to freak him out.
Yeah.
Maybe tell him.
See, you should do some ghost stories with that. Yeah.
This is so much fun. You're welcome to hang around, but you do what you want to do. All right. Heather Heil is here.
Not.
Maybe she'll be here when we come back. Maybe not. I don't know. I do know Kevin Collum, comedian, will be here to talk about a really cool tour he is doing through Wisconsin. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
From De Pere to Swamico. We saw you dancing, Kevin.
Are we live on the stream right now?
Moves there, man. Can you give me just a little mic check, please?
Check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Sounding good.
Yeah, I'm in the studio here. I don't know if the fine people at Cumulus will be upset with this, but I'm allowed to do some things off the books here.
Who's going to tell him?
Who's gonna? Well, it'll be on the air, so that'll be the part. I've done some other stuff on the side here. It's okay. They know what I'm doing. It's not in conflict
Kevin,
with
Pete,
anything
thanks for doing this,
in market, so it's fine.
Kevin, they're going to do a couple of texts when they come back from break, and then they'll slide into you.
Sure. And I sent you information on the tour and stuff like that if you guys need the dates and everything like that. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
Last minute.
Watch for Democratic politics in the state of Wisconsin.
Find all of Dan's work at the Recombobulation area and on our website at civicmedia.us.
Hey there, it's Carrie Joy with your Work Money Minute and a quick hack for setting and reaching a money goal. Try the SMART system for organizing your approach. S is for specific. What exactly is the goal? I want to save a down payment to buy my first house. M is for measurable. How will you know when you're done? I want to save $50,000. A is for achievable. Well, I'm going to have to cut spending in a few places, but I can save $1,000 a month. R is for relevant. Raising my kid in a home that we own is important for me and for her. I want her to grow up in the same place if we can afford it. And T is time. How long is it going to take? I think I can do this in about 4 years. Thinking through each of those letters is a great way to set yourself up for success when you're making money plans. For more tips on saving more and spending less, head on over to workmoney.org. Till next time, this is Carrie Joy saying, take good care.
You're listening to...
Dancing going on here. I love it. There's not usually this much. Conrad,
good tune.
He knows the two-step, and he's kind of a rumba guy. But he doesn't do what?
Where is Conrad? He just doesn't show up on a Tuesday.
I don't know.
Todd, I love seeing you. Don't get me wrong.
I think that he would dance if there were fewer clothing items that he was wearing. I think he likes to dance in the nude.
Wait a minute. I can't make a
Grandma?
joke about swingers, but you make a joke about Conrad dancing in the nude, which is something I don't need to think about.
Talking about Hot Frosty. And
I'm vulnerable, Todd.
Don't watch it.
All right. We're going to
look away.
A few texts here before we bring in our next guest. Steady Eddie checking in. Pete and Todd. I hate it when celebrities cash in. I hate it when movie stars, politicians, sports heroes trade in their celebrity for cash. Though, like you, I did like the Betty White commercials.
See?
That was funny.
Yeah.
I'm especially quietly outraged that Tom Brady is being paid $37.5 million a year for 10 years to be an NFL commentator. Really, he says. To me, that is crazy. He ain't that great. I yell at the TV every time I hear his voice and see his face on my television. Arr! Pete, I may be a little hangry right now in need of a Snickers bar. Oh, you need a 4-piece McNuggets, as Brian Cox would say. Thank you, Steadfast Edward. Always great to hear from you. And then Lee, we already read this, right? That Lauren Holly was Jane, the lady that pushed for us.
Yep,
okay,
we got that.
Thank you, Lee. Anna says, Pete, Lauren Holly was also married to Jim Carrey for a short time. She actually
Yes.
told me a couple stories about that.
I can
on
only
our movie
imagine.
set. And she, he sounds like, I don't know, I like Jim Carrey, so there weren't terrible stories either. But Bridget from the 818 says, I'm not a huge fan of actors in commercials, but I get it. They're developing their financial stability. Wow.
Well, that was a high road.
Celebrity apologist Bridget from the 818.
Again, I'm going to stand firm with it's the Betty White role. It's a Betty White role. It doesn't work any other way. So, and I did who did the Doritos? Jay Leno. Like I like. I did like that. I just feel like some of them are really pretty perfect, but it needs to be a very specific role for an actor, not just going, hey, Kathy Griffin, you want to sling some Pedialyte? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
But if she loves the product, or if it's you do, I'm fine with that. But Jay Leno and Doritos, and maybe he loved Doritos. I don't know. I found those.
I think he probably did.
Probably.
I feel like he did.
I don't like him anyway. So I stopped eating Doritos at that point.
You know what?
I was done. I went to Funyuns.
I love Funyuns.
No, he's such a sellout. His favorite were Tostitos, but he signed with Doritos. So that shook
There's drama with the chip industry.
I'm telling you.
Who knew?
Lee from De Pere says Magna PI doing reverse mortgages commercials irritates me. Yeah, that's a bad one. Oh, Lee is on fire tonight. Thank you, Lee.
Lee
all right.
is on fire.
So Heather's hanging out for a little longer.
Yeah.
Great to have her in the studio.
Thank
and
you.
we're going to move on to our next guest here who has been nice enough to join us over the stream. He is a comedian and going to talk about a really cool tour he's doing with a couple other comedians here in Wisconsin. Kevin Kellum joins us now. Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, and we also have James Fisher
James,
Jr.
too. And James
Hi, how you doing? My mom
James
left her,
Fisher Jr.
My mom left her headband for Thanksgiving, so it's mine now.
Yeah, it is. You rock that. Own it.
Thank you.
What else did she leave behind? Just as long as it stops there, James, I'm fine with it.
Dude, I can't find anything. Like, she moves everything in my house to where she knows where it is. Now my clothes are going to be wrinkled because I can't find my iron. It's just gone now.
James, you must not be married. It's kind of what we do as women. We just move stuff around.
Well, no.
It's a game that we play.
But kudos to you for still using an iron. Most people don't.
I mean, you got to look good.
Guys, this is great to have both of you. Thank you for being here tonight. Tell us about Kevin. Let's start with you. Tell us about the I had it up here now. I've lost it. I love this title. The Odd Thruple Comedy Tour.
Yeah. So James and I and our friend, who's a very, very tall Amazon. I believe the term is a tall drink of water. Tina Yukana. She was a big hit on the Kill Tony podcast. Maybe not a hot hit with the civic media crowd. But certainly has been able to stand out on her own. And we kind of like when we did this show together, we did a show together way up there, all by the Yulp, right up there.
Yeah.
Where the accents are thick and they are just angry they can't ice fish in July, like that type of crowd, right?
Right.
So we went up to Wissahickee, Wisconsin, and we played this room. And we had such a good time, and we were booked, and we were on the flyer. But when we came into the room, it was comedy comes to Wissahickee, right? It was a small town that really wanted live entertainment. And they wanted live entertainment from a big city to come to them. And that's been like the bedrock of like cool punk rock bands, play the small rooms, work you up to the big ones. And it's kind of still where we are. Like we play big rooms in Chicago, play Zanies and Laugh Factory. But then you have a weekend where you're like, I'm not booked. What do you want to do? James was like, want to go to Wissahickee? I was like, we're like, all right. And we got a hold of the great Ryan Bruno Leishman, who books some great rooms all across Wisconsin, Peshtigo. He does great fundraisers, does live pro wrestling. I'm a big pro wrestling geek. And he's like, I'll get you in this room. It's a weird crowd. He told me it was a weird crowd. And we get there, James, and this was weirder than weird. And these were people that were very much waiting for live entertainment for a long, long time. And were drinking like they were at the Woodstock of comedy 2 hours before we got there.
Oh, no.
And I did twice as much time as I was supposed to. And James, I think he performed 45 minutes, but like 5 minutes of it was material, just riffing with the crowd.
5 was material. And
it was just, it was wild. And they were like, an aggressive crowd, but they didn't know like if they were disruptive or anything like that. But we loved it. Like when we were in the thick of it, we were like, this is awesome. And we went to the promoter and we're like, is this weird for them? They're like, yeah, they think you guys are just out there. They've never met people like this. It's a guy who looks like me, who looks like he could be from the town. James is the only black man we've seen for 3 hours before we got to the show.
And they kept saying, the cook is black. I never saw a cook. I never saw food. What do you mean?
Hey, Wissahickee, that's my hood. I live like 30 minutes from there. So how did those shows go there? Obviously, it led to this tour you guys are doing, but was it overall a good show?
It was one show, but it's one of the most memorable shows I've ever done because we just thought when we came in, there's a ton of people. They're all maybe a little bit overserved, but they're having a great time. They all came here. They're having a good time. We know what Wisconsin is like in the summer. I've been there. I had a good time. And they're here for a show. So we got to give them a show. We're like, they're really rowdy. And they were rowdy the whole time, but it was like, James, it was like fun. It was like a fun challenge to do it. And they embraced this. And then they immediately said, you're coming to the bar next door. And we didn't pay for a drink. James, we didn't have anywhere to stay that night.
Yes, we didn't have anywhere to stay. Gosh. And then a guy just randomly was like, oh, you can stay at my farmhouse. And I don't know this guy. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, I go look at the house. I tell Tina, I said, stay in the car. If you hear me scream or a loud pop noise, pull off. My mom needs to know what happened to me.
All right. We got Kevin Kellum and James Fisher Jr. here. We're going to do a quick news thing here. Award-winning news, if you will, from Civic Media. And then we'll be back to talk more comedy with these guys. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite, joined by Heather Heil in studio on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're always asking what it's all about. Don't listen to my replies. You say to me, I don't talk enough. But when I do, I'm a fool. These times
talk of Green Bay, WGBW. You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers will begin a 2-week tour of the state to hold listening sessions on the biennial budget. Today, he's in Appleton. He will have additional stops in other parts of the state. A number of public officials have already stated their budget priorities, including what to do with the state's massive surplus. Republicans want to use the money to offer tax relief, while Democrats want to put the funds to use for public education and child care, among other things. It's Cyber Monday, and Wisconsin's Better Business Bureau warns you to be wary when shopping online. Watch out for false advertising and phony websites. Shop with secure sites only. Keep your antivirus software up to date, price check before you buy, and take advantage of rewards and loyalty programs and use your credit card. Understand return policies and watch out for phishing scams as well. You can always look for the BBB seal to shop with confidence. You can report online scams and find out more at bbb.org. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is reporting stronger vaccination numbers as peak season for respiratory viruses arrives. According to DHS officials, slightly more Wisconsin residents have been vaccinated for the flu and COVID this year. The overall increase may not be much, but it is a positive development after seeing a decrease in vaccination rates across the state in recent years. Health officials are advising more residents to get their vaccinations as outbreaks of COVID and the flu begin to pop up across the state. The Oshkosh Celebration of Lights kicked off its 23rd season Friday, bringing the joy and lights of the holiday season to the EAA grounds. See our story at WGBW.FM for information and photos from this year's display. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Well, Glicked Weekend's box office haul turned out to be no match for that of Barbenheimer's, but it was still impressive and helped the holiday box office get off to a great start. As expected, Wicked landed in the top spot with a take of $114 million, more than doubling Gladiator 2's haul of $56 million at the gate. Gladiator 2, directed by Ridley Scott and starring Paul Mescal, Connie Nielsen, Denzel Washington, and Pedro Pascal, was never expected to be the top dog, as it was always Oppenheimer to Wicked's Barbie. Wicked slightly exceeded expectations with its box office haul, whereas Gladiator 2 came in just under its expectations. This is becoming a trend in Hollywood where two films coming out at the same time were not necessarily competing against each other, but help each other create a social media phenomenon. Landing in third place in week 2 of its release was Red One with $13 million. Rounding out the top 5 were Bonhoeffer, Pastor, Spy, Assassin, and the resilient Venom, The Last Stand, which came in 5th place with $4 million. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy, maybe a flurry tonight. Lows upper teens to 20. For tomorrow, mainly cloudy. A high around 30. Some flurries and snow showers possible Wednesday, high in the mid-30s and becoming windy. Colder Thursday before warming through the weekend. Right now it's 31.
Oh, hello, Michael. Santa here. I need special gift ideas for my list this year. Any suggestions?
Hey, Santa, how about a Simple Life Hospitality gift certificate? It's the perfect present, flexible, thoughtful, and truly unique.
No, there's something different.
Our gift certificates are perfect for birthdays, holidays, or just because, with multiple amounts to fit any budget. Share the joy of this season. Give a Simple Life Hospitality gift certificate. Visit simpleliferentals.com.
Ho, thank you, Michael.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
We know what happened the last time Trump applied this ham-fisted tariff policy. He had to write a $12 billion check to farmers because he crushed so many of our agricultural exports and drove up the cost of single-family homes because the cost of lumber from places like Canada went way the frick up. Everything got more expensive.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app. Todd Albaugh.
Hey, everybody, join us next time as Luke Mathers joins us for some Tuesday Tangents with Luke and also a What's Worse. Be here.
The Todd Albaugh Show. Weekdays.
edition of Nite Lite. I am Pete Schwaba, and we are broadcasting live statewide from beautiful downtown Green Bay at City Deck Landing. Brent checks in on the stream and says, booze and dogs, nothing better.
I'm here for you.
Yes.
I'm here for the people. I bring it all together. And live music. Don't forget the live music.
Heather's language. Tomorrow night on the show, comedian and TV host Mike Toomey will be here talking about a comedy special he has down in Southeast Wisconsin every year. It's the 10th anniversary. And then our old pal Frank Anderson from Wisconsinology.com will be here. So a fun show tomorrow night as well.
And I would just like to wish you a happy 1-year anniversary on Wednesday. I think that's amazing.
2 days early.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, I didn't think it was going to last this long. Just being honest.
You made it, dude.
Yeah.
Woo!
Pete
1
is
year.
just so remedial. I can't believe he...
Really? They give this guy a show? Right?
He's trying to get fired. That's why you brought me in tonight.
Without both of you.
The finish line. Yeah.
Damn right.
It's that kind of support that makes a guy feel all warm inside. So, all right, we are going to keep moving along here. We've got two very funny guys on the show right now who are promoting the Odd Thruple Comedy Tour, and it's coming through my hometown. You guys, Kevin Kellum and James Fisher Jr. are on the stream right now. You're going to be going through Marinette this Friday. I cannot believe it. That's where I live. And you're going to knock the roof off the dump, right? As they say.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to come in there like a couple of fibs and just flip the whole town upside down.
Yes.
I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to put a threat out to every city on the tour. We're taking all of the beer, all the New Glarus, specifically the beer that is specific to Wisconsin. We're taking all of it. And we're going to bring it right over the border of Kenosha. And we're going to dump out every bottle individually right when we pass the border.
It's a waste of money. Don't do that.
What are you doing?
This is like total aberrant behavior.
This is clickbait. I'm trying to get attention. This is the modern age. I'm rage baiting them into the tour. Don't you know how people get elected for office now? You got to make people angry to get people to come in, James. Come on, play the game, buddy.
My bad. We're pouring all the beer. I'm drinking some of it. Come on, man.
You got to drink. You don't want your crowd to show up that angry, do you?
No, I don't. I'm being silly. I was telling someone that I was going to buy New Glarus and bring it back, as we do when we go to Wisconsin every time. And everyone's like, oh, don't you do that. Don't you? Like, they were like, when Milwaukee Comic was giving me gripe about it. Having fun. So
yes, you're friends with Greg Bach, right? Who is
the great Greg Bach, who's just a pillar of comedy in Milwaukee. With the Laughing Tap there, and I've played there. James, I know you've done some stuff there. So it's just a fantastic community of comedy across the Midwest. It kind of gets interconnected.
Yeah.
You end up having a beer with somebody at some point, and they're like, a year and a half later, you're, in a car with them. Look at that. Oh, is Jason joining us? The adorable dog Jason is here.
I don't want to say James is upstaging you, but he's doing this to get Heather's heart because she's doing her bark.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Introduce us to this pet here, James.
This is Jason. He's a teacup Yorkie, and he's 4, and he badly needs a haircut, don't you, buddy? I know.
Oh, you are a handsome fellow.
Is he funny? Cute. That's what I want to know.
He's hilarious, and people like him more than me. Every time we post a video, his does thousands of views. Just me, 1. And that 1 is my mom. She loves me.
All right, so tell us more. What other cities are you guys hitting on this tour, and where can people get tickets?
You can get tickets if you go to either one of our Instagrams. You can follow James Fisher Jr. as well. If he doesn't have the link up there, I'll hack him like a Russian and make sure it's in his profile. And then you can also follow me on Instagram at KevKellum6. The link is there. If you just search Odd Thruple Comedy Tour, it'll pop up on Facebook as well. Shout out to Ryan Bruno Leichman, who put this tour together for us. He booked all of the shows and put them together. If you search Under the Lights Entertainment on Facebook, it'll pop up there as well. Thursday night, we're going to be at Layman's Brewing in West Allis, Wisconsin, right outside of Milwaukee. Friday night, we're going to be at the Lodge on Main in Marinette. I spelled it correctly. Hopefully I said it correctly.
Get down on it. Get down on it. All right.
And then Saturday the 7th, we're going to be just north of Green Bay at the Nuff Noshery in Abrams. And then on Sunday, we're going to be on No Conflict with Football that day. We're going to be at Door County Gala in Sturgeon Bay. So that is an early show that starts at 5:30 if you're trying to make your Sunday feel a little bit like a Saturday. So all those shows, all the tickets available. Come on out. It's going to be a great time. If you enjoy a Netflix stand-up comedy show, I would say we were somewhat comparable. But, we don't have a special just yet.
What I love about this is you are doing smaller venues by design, correct?
Yeah. The idea, and if you come out, we'll have fun. If you come in, and like we're not opposed to like understanding what we are, that we're like lounge entertainers, and that we're performing for a smaller room. If you come out and you tell us someone's birthday, yeah, we'll have fun with them. Just if you're gonna try and heckle, we're gonna put you down. we have no problem with that, which is also part of the sport of what we do and the show of what we do. People always kind of want to try and turn a comedy show into themselves. They tried it in Woosaki, and people loved how much we were rolling with it, and we had fun with that. And if you want us to make fun of one of your friends, just slip us a note with a beer attached to it, and maybe we'll sneak them in there and try and make a fun day out of it.
He's trying to get free beer out of the audience. I love it.
Come on.
Kevin Callum and James Fisher Jr. are my guests here on Nite Lite. Heather Heil is hanging out after we talked about dogs, and there's kind of a theme here tonight. Todd Michaels is here. It's like a party. We're having a great time. You guys, tell me do you have cities you like to work more than other cities? I'm sure crowds are different. They take on personalities of their own. What are some of your favorite cities or clubs to work? Let's start with you, James.
I love San Francisco. Like, everybody goes to LA, but like San Francisco has a big DIY scene, the do-it-yourself shows and independently run shows. And it's just a town full of people who are just walking around looking for something to do. So it's San Francisco. I love going there. I want to go back sometime soon.
How different, James, you're from Louisville, and now you're in Chicago, and you like San Francisco. How are the crowds different between those three cities, if at all?
Chicago's similar, and there's always something to do, even when it's cold outside. Often comedy's better when it's cold because people are looking for something fun to do inside. So it's booming in the winter. Louisville, it's more of an event thing. Everybody's out during Kentucky Derby, like that week. Everybody's out the whole time, and it's bumping. Any other time, it's just like it has to be like a special night. But when people come out in Louisville, it is still fun. It's just rare to get multiple nights like that in a row in Kentucky. Where in Chicago, you can do a show Monday through Friday, and you can have a hot audience every night.
It's so funny you say that. That's where I started doing stand-up in the very early 90s. And there were guys that didn't want to work the road. They just stayed in Chicago because there was so much work there. Mm-hmm. You could work the whole year, make your living, and not leave town, which I found fascinating. Kevin, what about you? Do you have favorite clubs or cities to work?
Well, we're spoiled in Chicago. I mean, I have no problem saying that just because we're a big city. But I brought up Milwaukee earlier. And I always enjoy the challenge of going somewhere where no one knows who you are and winning them over. And I've done that in a handful of towns in northwestern Indiana, which is relatively a suburb of Chicago. But you go there and they would just be like, we just want to see comedy come to us. And I like that. I like the idea of intersectionality. And here's who I am. I have red blood like you. I have insecurities like you. I do a very emo type thing that is like I'm like a Weezer fan in my middle age, and I try and just like funnel that into comedy and be relatable. So when you go to like a place like Crown Point, Indiana, and you have people talking after the show, like we were in Woosaki, it's great. During the pandemic, in a very safe way, in the thick of it, Greg Bach and the Milwaukee Comedy Group put on the Milwaukee Comedy Festival, and we were doing shows for 25 people in these giant rooms spread out. This is pre-vaccine. So you were, on a test protocol and all these different things. And there was, a way to do it. And that was a club that launched with some funding from help and different fundraising. So you felt like you got to go out and support them. And we did the festival. And immediately at the end of the festival, they said, we will have you back next year to do the festival. Everybody that did it, they came out and did it. And there's only 12 of us. Is that a festival? At the time, it may as well be, right? With the way the things were regulated at the time. So I'll always love doing Milwaukee.
That's a great comedy
and especially getting up into Wisconsin and doing some big shows and stuff like that. And also more of it is who I get to go and do the road with. I'm excited for the 4-hour car ride and a few quick trips that we can hit up along the way and all the things that are truly Wisconsin. I want to find some ostrich jerky somewhere, in a gas station. I want that stuff.
Pretty sure that sounded obscene. Todd, can we air that last comment? That sounds like. Do you guys drive, all of you, in the same car? Is that?
Yep.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So tell me, both of you, if you would, just like you just did, what was the moment in each of your lives where you realized, I'm going to do this. I can do it. I think I'm funny enough. I'm getting on stage, and I'm going to make a run at this.
I grew up singing and dancing and always performing. And my moment was when I went to an open mic and they couldn't plug my music in. So on a whim, I just did jokes and people laughed. And I was like, okay, all right, I guess I got to keep doing this. And that's how my comedy journey started. It was just a mistake.
Faulty engineering.
Yeah.
What about you, Kev?
I never shut up as a kid. You know, I was a little kid and I would just do impressions of whatever was on Saturday Night Live. And that would be the night I could stay up late. I'm talking like a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm working radio now outside of this, doing comedy, never stopped talking. And there's a tape. We found a tape and I had to have it digitized down the hall from where I am and send it back to my dad. And it's me on with Richard Roper doing I was doing Phil Hartman's Frank Sinatra on the radio when I'm 11 years old. And that's 1996. And now I'm doing jokes somewhere with my friends in a car, and I'm doing radio in Chicago. And I just kind of think I was always wanting to do something like this. I mean, even when I was a little kid, before I could ride a bike, I wanted to tell jokes.
Yeah. Do you guys have, all right, so you're December 6th at the Lodge on Main Street in Marinette. That's my hood. December 7th at the Nuff Noshery, yeah. Nuff Noshery in Abrams. And Sunday in Door County Gala in Sturgeon Bay. So are you guys clean? Do you work clean? Do you have to change that in small towns? Do people in small towns want you to be dirtier? I would imagine if they're a big drinking crowd, they don't really care.
Yeah. So in places where they don't really have any other options for comedy, like they view it as a comedy club. So they come out to have fun, drink, and they kind of like you being dirtier, especially if the show is later. We can all work clean because in this business you have to know how to, but they want the dirty.
That's ironic. So does this show. Right?
Tonight it does.
Yes, tonight.
It's Heather's
We're
fault.
there.
The Federal Communications Commission thinks otherwise, Mr. Fisher.
That's right. This is a G-rated show typically. So what about you? Same deal, Kevin? Do you typically work clean or do you base it on
the thing is, because I
crowd?
work in radio, when I do stand up, all I want to do is just be not dirty, but just aggressive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, like I feel like this is the one band I play in, and then that's comedy is the other band I play in. Yeah, and I get to play a different vibe with that when I do it. So I try to be a restrained good boy, and then James has seen me be a complete maniac on stage. I prefer to be a maniac on stage, but I will. What, James?
That's every night you're a maniac on stage. I love it. You're screaming. It's great.
Yeah, it's very Metallica for what I'm going for. But no, I mean, like I think on a Sunday night show at Door County 5:30, maybe it's a different crowd. You know, we'll play to the room. If you bring your mom, we're not gonna make her feel like she has to double down on her medication in the middle of the show. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, that'd be great to see, actually.
That might be a good show in itself. Really.
I would love that.
I'm in.
Get the guy in the white shoes.
Bring your pills. It's going to be a great time.
Woo! All right, give me your Instagram or your social medias again. So if people want to get tickets, if they're listening in Sturgeon Bay, Marinette, Abrams, where should they go to get tickets off your social media?
Go to Kevin's.
Yeah, you can follow mine. Mine is at KevKellum6 on Instagram. If you search Under the Lights on Facebook, if you go to these venues, likely we will have tickets day of. The ticket prices kind of vary just because we're working with each individual venue, but it's well worth it. If you come out, I guarantee we are going to give you a show you won't forget. We're comedians. I know I'm going to be doing this when I'm an old man, and I know I'm going to be working with comics who are going to break and do wonderful things. If you are on your third or fourth date with somebody and you don't know what to do at that point, this is the thing to do. This is not a first date thing. Third or fourth date, James, am I right? Because you kind of know the sense of the person.
Yeah,
this is, I think, a good thing.
Yeah, you don't want to heckle to ruin a potential relationship. You know,
right? No kidding. Especially if that's the night. Fourth date, I'm rounding second base. The last thing I need is these two guys.
It's very easy. It's a good way to, if you step on my punchline, I'll make sure you heckle your way back to first. You know what I mean?
Guys, best of luck with the tour. Thanks for being here tonight. Check these guys out. It's going to be a great show. Marinette, West Allis, Sturgeon Bay, Abrams. It's all coming up. Safe travels and break a leg, guys.
Cheers.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
You got it. Kevin Kellum and James Fisher Jr. We'll be back to wish a very special happy birthday next. And Heather will sing. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. don't find yourself saying,
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
The Todd Alba Show.
Kash Patel, who Trump has nominated to be the head of the FBI, saying he wants to basically shut down the main parts of the FBI. Bill Barr, MAGA Republican Attorney General to Donald Trump. Quote, the very idea of moving Patel into a role like this showed a shocking detachment from reality, unquote. This is not the left calling out Patel. This is the right.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Dom Salvia Show.
Harvey Kaye, Professor Emeritus of Democracy at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. Harvey, I know you're the big FDR expert.
In 1934, he decided that the inequality and the wealth accumulated at the top was a threat not only to the American economy, but also to the American democratic spirit, American democratic life.
Sounds like history's repeating itself.
The Dom Salvia Show. Weekdays from 4 till 6 on the Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app.
The first time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all of fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
That's Weezer. They sing Island in the Sun too, right?
Woo, woo. Yeah, they do.
That's a great
Yeah,
tune.
I love. Actually, Weezer is really underrated. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that was a great call.
Are they the ones who their lead singer died? Or was that Wilco? Or Linkin Park? Somebody, Linkin Park.
Linkin Park,
Died.
yes.
Okay, I was like, I don't think anyone from
Or just,
Weezer is not with
was
us.
that the Carpenters? That was the, and in that case too, she passed
Hold on,
away.
I got a
Yeah.
whole bunch of
Peter, Paul, and Mary. Hmm? Yeah.
When it's so funny, like sometimes people like you'd never admit you like the Carpenters,
Oh,
or
I love the Carpenters.
or like John Denver when you were younger, and now I love, and I have no problem admitting I love the Carpenters.
Mm-hmm.
I love John Denver, Jim Croce. I like all these guys that
Yeah.
were like, or girls that were just like, kind of. I don't know when they went into a lame phase where comics were always making jokes about the Carpenters or whatever, but
Right.
they're crazy talented.
Oh, 100%. Marty Robbins. Love
Yeah.
Marty Robbins. Mm-hmm.
Hey, while we're on Marty Robbins, you watched the documentary about Yacht Rock, which is sweeping the nation. I get
heard
why.
about that.
Yeah.
I did. Yes, there is a new documentary. It just came out on Friday night on HBO Max about this yacht rock phenomenon. And it was really a fascinating documentary in the sense that basically yacht rock stemmed from Steely Dan. And I really have not been a Steely Dan fan ever, but after
Yeah.
watching this, and then I was like, I asked my Alexa to play that band, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Steely Dan? That is. But and now his name is escaping me.
Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald
Yep.
was saying for them. So there was like the Wrecking Crew in the day that they brought in for studio time to play instruments.
Hmm.
They also had a singing Wrecking Crew that Michael McDonald was on. So he was like with them and the Doobie Brothers and the lane that they used to create this yacht rock that wasn't cool.
Wow.
But yet it is cool. And now there's like Yachtly Crew, which is a
Yeah.
tribute. And we've seen it. Like Dan
We
and
had
I
them
have
on
gone.
the show.
They're so good.
We had Yachtly
Yes.
Crew on.
Did you really?
Yeah. We had, they were, they're Southern California based, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah, we had the lead singer, I can't remember his name, but probably about 6 months ago he was on the
Yep.
show.
And Epic has brought in, I believe it was Yachtly Crew, actually, that specific one. But they bring it in. If you have a chance to go see a yacht rock show, 100% go. And people wear captain's
They are
hat.
fun, yeah.
You are going to sing along to every song. Really good.
We had a guy that was in The Godfather of Green Bay, which it's the third time. It's come up a lot tonight.
I was just going to say.
I swear I'm not.
I know.
That's like Don Rickles saying that he knew Frank Sinatra. He said it at every show like 5 times.
But I feel like this is your sign that you need to produce another movie because I need to carry a watermelon. I need a watermelon scene, people.
I would write that in just for you because you've been such a trooper.
I carry a watermelon.
But the guy who plays the character is Chuck Martinelli in the film. Rob Martin, a Milwaukee actor who we found, turns out had an amazing voice and was part of a yacht rock band, one of the first ones in Wisconsin. They've since moved to Vegas, but Rob had a head injury. He's fine now, but that kind of messed up his time with the band, so they kind of moved on. But Rob has a phenomenal voice.
I've seen this band. I saw them in Milwaukee.
From Milwaukee?
Yep, and they talked about their Vegas residency. And
he started the
it
band.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
They
so
are
fun.
fun. I like all that music. I love the Doobie Brothers. Do you know who the original not Doobie Brothers, Steely Dan drummer was?
No.
Todd, any guesses?
No, it was in that documentary, and I can't remember though.
Who?
I'll give you a hint. Fletch.
Sorry.
Chevy Chase.
Shut up, really?
He was in Steely
No,
Dan.
he was
that
not.
wasn't it.
Very early iteration of Steely Dan.
Okay,
Yes,
that
it
was not in the documentary.
What
I'm going to challenge. Really?
Listen, I will stake my journalistic integrity on this fact. Yeah, are you Googling, Todd?
The gauntlet is down.
Okay. Conclusion. Chevy Chase was not a Steely Dan member. However, he used to play in the college band The Leather Canary together with Donald Fagen and Walter Becker, who were
led to Steely Dan.
Yeah.
So,
right. So I'm right.
Ish. But Donald Fagen
Fagen's awesome.
really had such an impactful voice in in all of that music, and they actually tried to interview him to be in this documentary, and he said some explicits and was like, I
don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. This isn't yacht rock. I feel he thinks that people are making fun of it, and it's not. It's just finally giving it its lane and its voice. And Kenny Loggins and Toto.
Right.
And oh man, I loved Toto. Like the good keys in the beginning of the music.
He had a song. I think it was called the Night Fly. Great song. And I don't think people are making fun of them. Maybe some yacht rock people are. Not cool or whatever, but not the actual music that inspired it, I don't think.
No, not at all. It's really great music.
So, all right, before we get out of here, we have a very special happy birthday. Your very good friend who I think she introduced me to you, actually. Yeah, Kristen. Mm-hmm. And Kristen has not been on the show for a long time because she was running for office.
Oh, I know who she is.
Yes,
and now I'm too shy to approach her. I feel like she's a celebrity now.
You should be.
I know. Yeah. I am.
She's on a different level. She's like a different human being, right?
What's your point, Todd?
No, not just you.
No, she does love being interviewed. She's
great. She's so much. Todd's giving me a hard time.
She's an open book and loves to talk about anything with anyone, and one of the kindest humans that I know. And Dr. Kristen Lyerly is celebrating a birthday today. So wherever you are,
do we want to sing to her?
Yeah, we do.
Let's do it. Okay, yeah. You guys start.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dr. Kristen Lyerly. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
She brought me a yoga mat that somehow disappeared from the studio and some kind of juice that had placenta in it, which was repulsive.
Well,
and
thanks for joining us tonight.
I would like to thank everybody for being on the show. Heather Heil.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Kevin and
yes, there you go.
The other, he joined us last minute. I forget his name.
Yep.
It's a great, the Anthropo Comedy Tour. Check it out. And who else was on the show?
Hot Frosty.
Todd was here.
Hot Toddy.
Hot Toddy.
Hot Toddy. Oh, new moniker.
There we go.
All right. And the lovable producer Conrad will be back tomorrow night. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for your texts and calls. Always more fun when you guys are part of the show. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Todd. Have a great night. Good night, Wisconsin.